everyone, and welcome to another Pokestar Weekly with Fairy Type Speculation Part 2. Much like my earlier speculation videos, Part 2 will just talk about Pokemon that already exist, and for this series, if my suspicions for who is going to get the Fairy typing. Now, it's pretty common knowledge that there is a Fairy group for the eggs, so I guess you could just say any of those Pokemon is fair game. So I'll most likely just talk a lot about those, but as well as give my own little opinions. So let's just get right on to it. Our first set of Pokemon are the Clefairy group. Clefairy, Clefable, Cleffa, Chansey, Blissey, Happiny, and then we have Togepi, Togetic, and Togekiss. Clefairy's group, it's pretty simple. Clefairies are moon-type Pokemon, or not moon-type Pokemon, but they come from the moon, and moon is a type of fairy, like I already said in last week's video. So they are definitely a good pick for it. Chansey's group, also a nice pick. It follows that trend of, pink Pokemon will most likely will get a fairy typing. Togetic is a bit of a difficulty. Togepi, obviously a nice fairy type Pokemon, but the thing about Togepi is that when it evolves, it adapts a flying typing. So it would probably just have to lose the normal typing, or just become strictly fairy in the next gen. That's going to be a test for Game Freak if they are going to rebrand completely instead of just adding a typing on. So that would be a flaw with it. Next, here we have Granbull and Snubbull. They are part of the fairy group, yes. I don't think they should become fairy-type Pokemon. The thing about these two is that they are also normal Pokemon, and the thing is, with the rebranding of Pokemon, and we're going to see this a lot, especially with the normal Pokemon, it's going to be a test of, are we going to have normal type Pokemon obsolete, because a lot of them are going to be transcending into the double typing now. It's going to be a little hard now, I think, to have a pure normal type Pokemon, especially if they're in the fairy group. And hopefully normal type Pokemon don't leave Pokemon out too much. We also have the thing about the move Metronome. That was also becoming sort of obsolete towards Pokemon. But we might see that more probably with the Fairy-type Pokemon. I would imagine if they would possibly even rebranding that as a Fairy-type move. I don't know why. Metronome just seems like a Fairy-type move to me. Next set of Pokemon, we have Dunsparce, Skitty and Delcatty, Tabune, and then for lols, Phione, and Manaphy. Dunsparce, I think, has already been rumored, or we pretty much speculate that it is going to be a fairy typing. It might even get an evolution, like I kind of predicted. We don't know yet, for sure. Skitty and Delcatty, they also fall along that normal thing I was talking about, but I would like to see them have a fairy typing. Delcatty and Skitty are two of my favorite Pokemon. Tabune, much the same to Chansey. Plus, it heals. I feel like Pokemon that heal and are always doing better for other Pokemon. I feel like they get fairy typings, I guess. Phione and Manaphy. They are water typings. Just pure water typings at this moment. Something about them seems fairy-like. It could just be that the fact that they are pseudo or are legendaries. It's hard to say. I feel like they are fairy-type Pokemon. And then last here is Marmal. Marmal's already been rumored to adapt the fairy typing, so I just want to alliterate that. That shall be interesting. Last set of Pokemon. I'm following, since I started off with Manaphy, we're going to go transcend more into legendary Pokemon. Our first set of Pokemon are Uxie in yellow, Azelf blue, and Mesprite pink. these Pokemon also feel like they should be fairy-type Pokemon. Just the whole draw of them seemed very fairy-like. So I would like to see them turn into fairy-typing Pokemon. Psychic/fairy. Shaymin is a grass type in this form. In its sky form, it's grass flying. Shaymin in itself looks like a fairy-type Pokemon to me. Obviously, it would be fairy grass in this form, and then in the next form, it would be grass flying. Like I said, I'm not sure how Nintendo, or Game Freak I should say, is going to handle these preset typings, and if they are going to change the game completely, or just add on to things that are able to add on. And our last two Pokemon, Mew and Meloetta. Mew is one of the first legendaries we really got to know. I mean, sure, we got Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos, but Mew is the big O. Mew is that Pokemon that is a mystery, that you don't get many of them in events, very hard to find. That seems very fairy-like to me. I feel like you would actually see a regular fairy in our world easier than seeing a Mew in the world of Pokemon. I'm just saying. And again, with the pinkness, I just feel like it should be a fairy-type Pokemon. And it's not like it's going to be losing a typing like Meloetta. Meloetta, I'm probably saying the name a little wrong. She is normal psychic in this form. In her pirouette form, she is normal fight. Meloetta also seems like a good Pokemon candidate to be a fairy-type Pokemon. She is very fairy-like-esque. It also goes to the fact that she is very humanized as far as Pokemon goes. And we don't have... Humanized Pokemon are a little few in between. Ranabar is one of those Pokemon that are more humanized than they are animalistic or naturistic, whatever. So, and I'm pretty sure in fairy culture, singing has something to do with them. I obviously did not look that up into my research for the first video, but I feel like fairy Pokemon like to sing, and Meloetta is obviously a Pokemon that likes to sing. And that is it for all the Pokemon on this list. Again, we don't really know how Game Freak is going to handle all of the rebrandings, or how many exactly they will do. All we know is that fairy Pokemon are among us now, and we have to get used to the fact. So that is it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.